Hello, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share a game with you. It's called Ghost Hunters Corp, a game that I'm really excited for. It's about ghost hunting investigations as well as exorcising the ghost. That is half the battle. Really interesting game so far, really enjoyed my time with it. I've had access to the pre-alpha. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little overview of what the game's about and why you should be excited for it. Just a little bit about the background. This game is made by a singular dev. It's due to launch in early access on July the 16th on the Steam store. I'll put the link down in the description. It can be played solo or in a group with up to 4 people by playing co-op. Now let me just talk you over the general gameplay loop. First of all, let me run you through the ghost types. So that is the first step of the mission. Identify the ghost type, the category as it were. So you've got 5 at the moment in this game. And the really cool thing about this is you don't use like equipment to work this out. So you have to observe their behavior and try and work it out yourself, which is something that I've been enjoying when I've been playing this today. I'm trying to work out all their quirks and stuff like that. So first of all, you have the poltergeist. Poltergeists love playing with objects. They don't like other people nearby, especially when you interfere with them objects. They'll get really angry. Then you have the shadow category. Shadows love the darkness. They don't like the light. They will get really pissed off in the light. Next you have the revenant. So the revenant is based on sound. They like their silence. If you're talking or be noisy near them, they will get really peed off again. Next, you've got the demon category. So demons I found are just really aggressive in general. They will just be 0 to 100 compared to the others. They will just constantly attack you. Crucifixes are the things that can keep them at bay a little bit. And finally, the work in progress one, they've got the children category. So at the moment, they're really obvious for me to spot because they appear to just be smaller models that are just shrunken down. So they seem like the easy one to spot at the moment. So that's your first step in a mission. You want to observe their behavior for a little bit, try and work out what you think it could be. But in the process, you also want to do something else. You want to start gathering some evidence. So there are 5 types of evidence and different options you can get for them. So for the electromagnetic field evidence, you do use an EMF reader. So you will either get EMF level 5 or EMF level 3 or 4. It will fluctuate between them. For the entity scan, that's an entity scanner that you use. You just get different readings for that. So there's 4 different ones. Temperature near the entity will either be 0 or negative. Written evidence. Now this is cool. You can get writing in a book. You can get symbols in a book. Or you can get writing on a wall or drawings on a wall. Really cool. I love it when you get the wall writing and drawing. Really creepy as well. And finally, there's audio proof. You can get a response on the Spirit Box EVP, them talking to you. Spirit Box radio, where they will like cycle the radio stations, as it were, through the Spirit Box. And finally, evidence audio voice. They will just talk to you outside of the Spirit Box, which is really creepy when that happens, I have to say. So in the process of gathering as much evidence as you can, you also want to try and work out the category by looking at their behavior. And let's say we have a shadow with EMF level 5, entity scan of 9p, temperature is 0, written evidence is wall writing, and finally Spirit Box EVP. Now you are ready to move on to the exorcism. So to get started with the exorcism, once you've filled in everything here, you print off your exorcism instructions. So these are the things that you have to do. Not necessarily in this order, you just need to do every single individual action on the entity. So for this one, you have to shoot it with a neutrino gun, flash it with the camera up close, use an incense stick nearby it. You have to find the pentacle with in night vision mode, basically. Then you take a picture of it and that reveals it. Then you throw holy water on that to get rid of that. And finally, you have to read out the excerpt from an exorcism book, which is really cool. Really enjoy doing that. But obviously, whatever the ghost category is, it might change mission to mission. Let's say we got a demon, got some different evidence now. Let's swap these over. Your instructions might be completely different. As you can see here, you have to affect them with salt, flash them with a camera, incense in the dread room, which is where the ghost orbs will be. You have to find them first using night vision, and throwing holy water on them, finding cursed objects with a neutrino gun and destroying them with that. You also have to use other gadgets to help find these cursed objects. They are something that are littered throughout missions, which are really cool as well. Talk about them a little bit more later. And finally, again, recite the exorcism book. So as you can see, there's a lot of different combinations of potential different ghost types, the categories, and different types of evidence. So you'll be doing different things in each mission as well, which adds a lot of replayability and unpredictability. So that is the general gameplay loop. The rest of the tablet here is quite self-explanatory. One thing that I do want to show you is the ghost market. So this is where you buy all of your equipment, essentially. A lot of it is locked behind levels and money as well, so you do have to level up quite a bit to use some of these. So for example, here we have the lamp tree. Flashlights are like really basic. You can work up to headlamp lights, tripod spotlights, even better if you want to keep like big areas illuminated. But for example, this one here, level 14, you need an 80 euros, which is quite expensive. The normal flashlight is only 20 euros and you can get it from level 0, which is what you start at. Also tells you how many you have in storage. This one here is level 12, for example. Loads of different upgrades throughout the trees. I'll just quickly flick through them. These are pretty much like mission essentials. The ghost scan section. Cameras, pretty self-explanatory. They just get better and better. That one at the end's really maneuverable, really useful. You can control it externally, like rotate it, stuff like that. These are basically tools you'll use in every mission. Some of them to get evidence. These two on the end are good for exercising, depending on the ghost type. Consumables here. All of these you use to exercise the ghost. Again, depends on the ghost type though and what evidence they give off. And finally, some protection things at the bottom. Statue of Mary here. Then over... Oh, sorry. Clicked off. You've got a neutrino gun here. You've got a crucifix. Looking really bling. Danger detector, that basically changes colour based on if the ghost is nearby. I think it's yellow if they're close, and it's red if they're going to attack you. And salt shotgun, oh my god, yes. Who would have thought? I never knew that I wanted to shoot salt at ghosts, but here we go. They have fulfilled my wish that I never knew I had. Yeah, needs to be level 10 to buy that though, but you can test it in the lobby. In fact, let me show you. Come and meet the salt shotgun. My favourite piece of equipment so far. Needs to hit level 10. Always wanted to do this to them ghosts in Phasmo, eh? Well, now's your chance anyway. While we're here, actually, I might as well show you. This is the neutrino gun as well. So you use this to exercise certain types of ghosts. Depends on the evidence and what type of ghosts they are. Let me show you around a little bit. So this is the lobby. This is basically the camper van. This is where you will leave to start your mission. You come in here. And you just use the wheel to set off. This is also what you will use as a little hub station when you're in doing missions. Any optional equipment that you've brought, you can summon using this little display over here, and they will appear in the box behind you. But any optional things you do bring, if you die, you do lose them as well. Little toilet there. There are actually some uses for this cupboard too, but I don't want to spoil it at the moment. You can wait to see some gameplay. I don't want to spoil anything. This display here as well. You can see your cameras that you place in the building from there, and you can control them, night vision or not, move them left or right, etc. So this is the board where you choose missions as well. There's 3 missions in the game at the moment, just 3 maps. So you've got the USA Lost House, the smallest. You've got the Fort, which is the biggest. It's kind of like a ruined castle, really cool map. And you do have a manor that's in the middle. This one here, France the Pianist Manor. So yeah, you just choose them here and you just get cracking, basically. Nice and simple. 3 maps at the moment, but it is going to be an early access game, so I'm sure things may change in the future. Also worth mentioning at this point, this is made by Singular Dev as well, which is pretty darn impressive. So yeah, it's coming out on July the 16th as well in early access, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game's going to change. Now though, let's hop into the tutorial room. I will just whiz you through some of the equipment. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we have the EMF reader, first of all. They have some training dummies here too, so this one will give off EMF 3 or 4. You just turn it on and use it near it. This one over here should give off EMF 5. Beautiful. It tells you what temps you should get as well with the thermo. Negatives. And this one should be 0. Yeah, perfect, perfect. This is the MEL meter, so it measures occult readings and temperature again. So if you just stand nearby, you're getting 0 there. And negatives there, but you won't get the occult readings at the moment because there's no occult energies to be given off by them. This is the entity analyzer. Yep. So this won't work on these because they're training dummies, but you want to use these in missions. Basically, it's one of the pieces of evidence. It's this one here, entity scan. Once you finish scanning the entity, it will give you a reading. It should be one of these. It takes quite a long time, so I like to put that in the room early from experience so far. This is the tripod camera, the one that I can't unlock at the moment, but I can't wait to unlock it. It looks really useful. So you can actually control this one remotely using these arrows over here. Hello, there's myself. And you can also raise it up and down as well, which is really useful. Let me show you ghost orbs though. Ghost orbs are quite useful to look for. You need to find them in order to find what is called the entity dread room in some missions. You might need to do certain things there in order to exorcise the ghost. So yeah, looking for the room with ghost orbs can be quite useful. Something you probably want to do at some point during the mission. So that's all for this room. My bad, flashlight. Now it's all for this room. Also, you can swap this between your two hands like this. What I find is useful, because you can carry three things, is to put the flashlight in the left hand, turn it on first, hang on, put it in the left hand, and then when you scroll up to change item, it will just scroll what's in your right hand and your flashlight will stay on. That's what I found is the most useful thing to do at the moment. Let me just show you around here. We're not done yet. So this is the danger detector. Like I said earlier, that will light up white if you're safe. If the entity is close, it will go yellow. If you're about to be attacked, it will glow red. Pretty self-explanatory. In here, this is a really useful item. We have a camera with night vision that you can turn on the fly. Really useful for when you're walking around in the dark. It lets you see the ghost. You can actually see the entity using this night vision that you would not see with the naked eye. So really, really useful. Obviously better if you turn the lights off, but I can't control these in this room. You can also take photos with it as well, which is good. Over here, this is the occult sniffer. So there are some cursed objects, haunted objects, basically in the mission. Some of them are related to exorcising the ghost as well. Some of them you can just bring back to get more money, I believe. So this will basically detect cursed objects. So let's see if any of these are dodgy. Let's have a look. Oh, we got one over here. One that we can't see, apparently. So if we come over here, this is the instant camera. Powerful and limited flash of this modified camera will exorcise certain entities that hate light. That's correct. Also, they will show objects that are invisible. So basically, some of the haunted objects that won't show themselves. If you go straight up to them, because I've got a reading here, take a picture with it. Boom. Got ya. Then you can bring this back with you, I believe. I believe you get some extra money, like I said. Also, it is part of exercising some of the ghosts. I think you have to use the neutrino gun on the cursed objects like that. Kind of cool, though. Kind of cool. Let's move on. Okay, so this is a door, as you might expect. This is a little tutorial on how to basically escape the entity. They're really dangerous in this game. There's no such thing as like defined hunts. They can attack you anytime. You're not safe anywhere on the map. They can attack you absolutely anywhere. My earliest attack has been seconds after walking in, and yes, they did kill me. So yeah, this game can be pretty difficult, I won't lie. You can close the door here. So when you close it fully, when it goes green, when you hear the door closing noise, if you hold the door shut, you will then bar them from coming in. But the downside is they will bash it down from the other side. It will take them 4 or 5 hits to get through the door, but it can buy you some precious time that you need to escape. Because one thing that I've not mentioned yet is there is sprinting in this game, but it's very limited. Let me show you. It's about 5 or 6 seconds. And then you stop. Wait for it. Any second. About now. There you go. I can't sprint for quite a while now, maybe like 10 seconds. So say if I'm out of breath and there's the entities chasing me, you'll want to close this door and hold it shut while you get your breath back. And then you can start sprinting away again once you've replenished. Over here, very familiar item. We've got the spirit box, my favorite. This basically is just a little test to see if it's registering your voice. But yeah, you'll use this in the mission. You'll get spirit box EVP if they talk back to you. You'll get spirit box radio if they play the radio through it. And you can also get just them talking outside of the spirit box, which is really, really creepy. That's these 3 at the bottom. So spirit box radio, spirit box EVP, and then evidence audio voice, which is when they talk, not through the box. Really creepy when that happens. Can you come here? Beautiful. It works. Here you have the book. So in this game, they do recommend that you keep the book in your hand, and you do want to ask them to write in the book. I believe it's this one there. The one I just said. Can you write in the book? Yeah. You do want to try and ask them to do that, with it in your hand preferably. I have had them write in it once when it's not been in my hand though, so but maybe it's just an increased chance. Still need to figure that one out. You got some holy water here that you can throw. That's used to exorcise some ghosts, depends on the ghost type. Crucifixes are very, very, very useful against the entity, especially demons though. That is their main weakness. As it says there, you can have it in your hand or put it on the ground. And it's a rather fancy crucifix, I don't mind saying so myself. Pretty snazzy crucifix. You're not so snazzy, are you? A little bit creepy. But there you go anyway, that's most of the equipment. Let's see if there's anything we didn't cover. Just have a quick look at the ghost market. I think we've actually covered most of this. I don't think they have a statue here. Incense as well. You have to light that to get rid of some of the ghosts. Yeah, there you go. So that's most of the equipment anyway. Gives you a little tutorial on how to use them all, but most of it you do learn just by kind of like experimenting yourself in missions. So there you go. I hope you're looking forward to this game. Stay tuned for some gameplay soon. I really hope you enjoy it. I've been enjoying my time with this so far. Take care of yourself, and I will catch you soon. Catch you in the next one.